Welcome back, everyone. Toyshiz here, and I am back yet again with a special look courtesy of my friends over at Hasbro. They went and sent over their brand new upcoming 3.75-inch retro collection featuring 2-packs that have all your favorite Marvel superheroes in them, like Spider-Man and Electro and Iron Man, and it's really cool. It's totally different, right? Never seen 3.75-inch figures. We'll get to that in just a second. But I want to say that this is bringing back old stuff, me being a huge fan of, let's say, Toy Biz and 5PO8, those type Marvel figures. This is cool. This is something I was definitely interested in seeing and getting, and these will be available. They're available now on Hasbro Pulse if you want to get them, but they will be in stores in 2021, minus the special Black Panther Iron Man one that you see right here. This one will probably just stay a Hasbro Pulse exclusive. You get it when you order the entire set, so you can grab them. These are, of course, based on, let's say, the old Mego Pocket type superheroes. They did Superman and Batman and Spider-Man and Hulk. So they had DC and Marvel sort of intertwined with one another, and they were smaller figures. These new ones being 3.75 inch, they kind of mash up a little bit better with these more Mego type pocket superheroes. Then, of course, you know about Mattel. They did the Secret Wars figures, of course, encompassing that storyline around that time. Black costume Spider-Man, Magneto, Wolverine. Very cool figures. Now you're also probably saying, well, wait a minute, why is Kenner on the box? Kenner didn't make these types of things. So this is a bit of a what if, which is actually kind of interesting. Kind of looking at those old comic books and thinking, okay, and relating it to the toy sense, back in the day, what if Kenner had been known for Marvel superheroes? And for Hasbro to kind of do that and not really touch what's come before, you know, Kenner being known for their DC figures, Swamp Thing, so many 5POA figures with the accessories and everything else. I love this Robin, by the way. That was I love that glider. That was cool. And then, of course, moving into Toy Biz, so kind of mashing up Kenner and Toy Biz. This is really where I got into Marvel superheroes, especially with Spider-Man, the animated series. Which, shameless plug, if you've not subscribed to my YouTube channel already, and you're a big Toy Biz fan, or just a retro action figure fan in general, be sure to check out my Spider-Man the Animated Series playlist, where I have over 40 videos talking about the entirety of the line, with more on the way. So, let's get into these. The artwork on these boxes are fantastic. We'll get into that in just a second, but I'm stoked, I'm excited. Let's just get right into it. Let's start talking about all these new 3.75-inch retro Marvel figures. And just so we get this out of the way, it's a box in and of itself. You open it up, and there are 2 figures within each one. So, for instance, this is Black Panther versus Captain America, and they're totally done in their retro costumes. Even the artwork. The beautiful artwork by John Tyler Christopher. If you've not checked him out, definitely do so. He does all those wonderful Star Wars action figure type covers for those books. So it's very cool to see. Very crisp, very retro, but again, being new, being different. Here's a little bit of a bio for the figure if you want to go ahead and screen grab it. I do like that they put these old-fashioned type comic book little black and white silhouettes they used to put on the covers. If you remember the old comic books, always being somewhere at the bottom, something like that. Black Panther looks good. Again, just utilizing the artwork, a little bit of Kirby-ness within that, the retro backing. They're all basically the same, but I'll show them off. If you want to skip ahead, I'll put the little time code below, because I want to talk about this. I'm a huge packaging nerd, so I love seeing this. Iron Man versus Cyclops. Now that's an interesting matchup right there. Not one that you would think would go together right away, but I dig that. I dig the weird mashup to it. It's got the veins of Secret Wars and those old types of figures, really mashing up 2 characters that don't necessarily go together. Also, just an FYI, if you get these off Hasbro Pulse, they got this little #1 sticker on all of them. It means it's going to be super rare. A-OK, #1, super expensive. No, it's just the first versions variants of these. So if that means something to you, if you want to not open these up, I'm going to be opening them up. So it's just, I mean, that's what I got to do. I gotta not sell these. Oh man, gee shucks. Here's the bio for Iron Man if you want to grab that as well. Spider-Man and Electro, I think that this will be the one. I mean, just being a Spider-Man fan, I like that they put him with a villain. That's cool to do. So with Iron Man and Cyclops being together, Then you have Spider-Man versus the villain. That seems to be a little bit more cohesive. Villain versus superhero. I think I'd like to see more of that, to be quite honest with you, and also accessories. But again, we'll talk about all this in just a few. Screen grab this for the Spider-Man bio. Perfect recreation of the little Spider-Man silhouette right there. I love that. I'll talk about it all day. You'll notice, like, on here it says Marvel's Electro. On the Cyclops one, it'll say Marvel's Cyclops. So if they're not associated with direct names, yeah, you're going to get that on the various figures. It's like Marvel's Rogue or something, whatever they do. Love seeing Maxwell Dillon right there. That's cool. Here's the variant, or the one that you can only get if you order the incomplete set off Hasbro Pulse. This is like a foil wrapped version, special edition, carbonized, whatever we're calling these things nowadays. But you'll notice the packaging is very shiny. Ooh, check it out. Super shiny, I have to say. The figures are decoed a little bit differently as well. Same figure, body, everything else, but just the foil packaging and different colors. You'll notice that Black Panther now has gray boots and gloves as opposed to the blue. Exact bio, same exact everything packaging-wise. It's just a different style of the artwork and a different variant of the figure. Same thing with Iron Man as well. He does look good. A little bit more metallicized. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be showing off the Iron Man and the Black Panther, but I'm not going to open these up because I am going to save these and put these on my shelf. I think that these are actually very interesting, and because you can only get them off Hasbro Pulse if you order the entire set, you're just going to have to deal with it. I'll show you the articulation, Iron Man, all the other stuff. So sit back, relax, grab yourself a nice hot cup of coffee. This is a look at the brand new Marvel Legends, Marvel Retro, Kenner by Hasbro, 3.75-inch figures. I hope you got all that. And of course, here they all are out of their packaging, and the first thing I think of is Star Wars 3.75-inch, like really old school, but these are cool. They're totally their own thing. They're totally their own scale. They're fun little figures. If you are a huge fan of articulation and new figures and they have to do every little yoga pose that you could think of, these are not going to be for you. But if you can appreciate 5 POA, these actually have 7, right? These are interesting. They even have little holes on the back, which I'm assuming for later figures, depending on which one you get, like Cap and Black Panther have, Spider-Man doesn't. So, interesting to see what they will do. I'm hoping for vehicles and play sets and everything else. That's where I'm hoping that they really take this line. Vehicles, accessories, the whole shebang. That's what I want to see. But let's talk about the figures in and of themselves. And we'll start off with Black Panther. And as you can see, these are simple. They harken back to what came before. You're not getting overly done, overly articulated, everything else. There's a few hindrances in the plastic. Some smudges here and there, some excess little hanging tags. You can see it on the back of the boots right there. That's one thing I want to point out. Just FYI, if you are a stickler for that type of thing, that's something to look out for. Articulation-wise, each one has 7 points of articulation. So the heads, the arms, they rotate at the forearm, which is nice. I like that they put that in there. They'll kick up. There's nothing at the boots. You know, they are a little bit more rubbery, but there's nothing at the waist. So basically just 7 POA for these first batch of figures. If they take it to larger type figures, maybe they can add some more. As far as Captain America goes, he is painted nicely. Each one is going to have little hiccups here and there, but Cap is very crisp, I have to say. The reds are gorgeous. The blues, this is what I like to see for Captain America. As you can see, just little instances here and there where paint slip, something to that degree. The shield is rubbery, it's flexible, it's a clip-on, it's not going to break, which is nice. I've had a shield break before from Marvel Legends. I wish you could have plugged it onto his back. He's got the peg hole. I wish that would have been a thing, most definitely. These, when you pose them, you can see, you know, especially in the, I like the hidden joints right there with the gloves, you would think. You would think also the boots would rotate too, you know, but unfortunately, no. The head is done nice. Again, little slips of paint here and there, but Cap is nice and crisp. Cyclops is a nice, interesting looking figure. The blues match well with the bright yellows, very X-Men. He actually fares the best. He does have a little bit of a light painting, where the blue will kind of still show through. Not as bad as Electro, which I'll show in just a second. the stoic personality of Cyclops comes in this as well. You can put his arms up. No, he won't be pushing his visor anytime soon. It would have been nice to have, maybe some articulation in the knees or the elbows, but I think this applies to the more retroness. These are supposed to be simple. They're not going for that. Iron Man, I think that just in the face where the black lines up with the mask, the eyes are a little bit off. The mouth is there, but I think it's just a little bit too low, or it was just situated odd. Nice reds, nice yellows. Nicely done. He actually fares the best. Minimal paint. The circle is nice for what it is. So you could kind of have his repulsor hand out. Again, I wish it would have been up just a little bit to kind of complete it. And a clip-on effect. That's really the only thing that I could say. He does have the specific Iron Man little modules right there on his side. So cool looking Iron Man overall. Maxwell Dillon, Electro, being the only villain so far in the wave. He stands out. He's good. This is the figure, though, where the yellow, the green, it really sort of bleeds out. He fares the least in the paint. You can't put his hands up. Some Electro effects. That would be cool. That's where I think that these things really would benefit. But again, just in terms like right here, you see all the little paint mishaps. He gets it the worst. This is the one where it just didn't come out the best at all. Unfortunately, within the paint. The figure itself, he looks cool enough. He does have that retro feel, though, with the lackluster paint, if I have to say. And then, of course, Spider-Man. Spider-Man's my favorite one out of all of them. I know, nice and boring, right? But Iron Man, Cap, they're all crisp and clean. But Spider-Man, he fares really nicely. I think the only hindrance right here is on his side, where the printing kind of got a little black, too much black on it. Unfortunately, on his spider symbol, he has like a little check mark right there, unfortunately. But other than that, I think it's a cool Spider-Man. I think a Spider-Mobile would be really cool. Webbing effects, something to that degree. But for what these are, these really work. They satiate that old school 3.75 inch nature. And really quick, I just wanted to go over the foil set again. Now, you get this only if you go on Hasbro Pulse and order all 3 sets. This is the bonus 4th one. You have to order all of them to get this one. This one, as of right now, I'm being told that there's no plans to have this come to retail. So if you want this, you have to get it off of Hasbro Pulse. They are the exact same type of figures, except for the fact that the new Black Panther and the Iron Man have a little bit of a sheen to them to go along with the foil carbonized type look. So they're painted differently, darker reds, gray boots. I would say, honestly, when starting a new line, because you can't really check these out in stores, you have to go off of, let's say, videos like this, I would say try to steer clear of immediate variants when starting any type of new line for any type of company, because I think it alienates certain collectors that may have jumped on. Completionists, one that go, well, maybe I'm not ready to check it out. I don't know. So immediately I steer clear. I think it's a great idea. It's fun. It's definitely in that vein, and it's supposed to be a fun endeavor. But I would say keep it for maybe 2-3 waves in, something to that degree. Again, same type of figures. You can only get it off Hasbro Pulse if you want them. But I'm going to be keeping these in the box because, yeah, they just look pretty cool with the foil packaging. Now let's jump into the toy box and show some scaling. And 100%, right off the bat, I'm going to tell you this. These are their own thing completely. 3.75 inch figures, yes. But if you were hoping that they were going to scale with Mego Pocket Superheroes or Secret Wars or Toy Biz or Hasbro figures that have come before, 3.75 inch multi-articulated, no. This is their own separate scaling completely. Marvel Legends 3.75 inch basic stuff. But that's actually pretty cool. In terms of how they all scale together, they may have different body types and different accessories and boots and whatever else, but they're all the same height. And for me, let's say when I look at more of like the McFarlane or Marvel Legends or Transformers Earthrise, things like that, they always gear it more to be a collector line, and they have to scale together. And if it doesn't, it's weird, and we know that. These don't have to be that, and I appreciate the simplicity. This is hearkening back to what came before. It's vintagey. It's fun. It doesn't need to be that when we have everything else. This is just supposed to be exactly what it is. Marvel superheroes, you carry around with them, and maybe you take a picture while you're walking around the beach. I don't know. It's just supposed to be fun. Don't think about it. But who's to say that while it is its own scaling, certain things from your collection may fit, like this McDonald's animated Dr. Octopus. Put him with Electro, Sinister Six. We got the start of it already, by the way. The John Tyler Christopher art on the box is reminiscent of the first Sinister Six battle with Spider-Man against Electro. Nice little throw-in right there. That's very cool. Toy Biz figures, Venom, Green Goblin, Marvel superheroes. Too tall. Way too tall. It's not going to fit. Venom even too big for that scaling, we'll say. 3.75-inch Marvel Legends, Marvel Universe. It's different style. It maybe may work for certain figures. A Hulk from McDonald's, yeah, that works pretty good. It actually fits. And I think that if you do a Hulk should be a little bit bigger. We'll just say Toy Biz, old school dioramas, things like that. Yeah, that's gonna work. Not all of them, but this Venom thing, that'd be cool. Even this old lamppost with the Spidey web thing in it. That is cool, and that's what I want to see from this line. Courtesy your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Come on, that's just awesome. Cyclops with the X-Jet, you know, come on. That's friggin' rad. Yeah, it's not like perfect scaling, but it works. It's cool. It'd be a nice little thing for your shelf or your desk. Maybe you're at work. You could put a traveling partner in the cockpit this time. You know, put a little Jean Grey in there. White Queen, whatever, whoever you want him to go with. Iron Man, it's very cool to have this. Iron Man and Captain America in the cockpit of the X-Jet. Do that. Make these things. That would be frickin' rad. If you are wondering, here's the thing I'll point out about Kenner. This is, again, being a what if. What if Kenner made superheroes? The lack of articulation, though, you always were in a pre-pose sort of deal, which gave them that sense of action. These ones, the arms kind of go up and down, and that's really it. It's kind of boring in that sense. I do wish it was a little bit more pre-posed, to be quite honest with you, if we're not going to have articulation. Also, that would just be just that extra topping of retro. But here's the real kicker for me, and this is something I'm actually putting back together as we speak, getting all the little pieces, which has just been a royal pain in the you-know-what, the Marvel Toy Biz Superhero Training Center. And when you have these figures all lined up like this, Captain America, Cyclops ready to use the elevator, Spider-Man swinging down, Electro shooting lightning bolts, this is the ideal sense, the ideal scale of what I would like to see them do with this new line, in all honesty. This is what I want to see. Put some accessories in the box, one or two. It's going to be $10 per figure, $20 for the 2-packs if you get them off of Hasbro Pulse. But for $10, we need a little bit more accessories. So here's my final thoughts on these Marvel Legends 3.75-inch retro figures. As someone who has grown up with Kenner and Toy Biz figures, I enjoy this scale. It's not going to be for everyone, but don't look down upon it. You got so many other different variations and scales to go with. If you don't like them, you don't like them. But for those that are interested, I would say they're definitely very cool. But I want to see more out of this. I want to see vehicles, and I want to see playsets, and I do want to see some accessories. Captain America comes with a shield. What's to stop Spider-Man coming on with like a clip-on webbing, or clip-on electro effects, or clip-on, you know, make it goofy, make it retro-y. This is where you can kind of have a little bit more leeway, a lot more fun than saying Marvel Legends where you can't get away with certain things because it'll look off, it'll look weird. Go crazy with these. That's all I'm going to say. Have fun. I want to see Ghost Rider with a bike, like a pullback bike, and Silver Surfer with a pullback Silver Surfer board, and just something wackadoo. Not even from the comic. Make Cyclops have an exo unit suit. So I don't care. Just make it cool. Make it fun. This is where this line can really shine and just be wackadoo. And so I'm going to leave you guys with that. I'm curious to know what you guys think. Comment below. Let me know. Let's talk everything Marvel 3.75-inch. And thank you to Hasbro for sending these out to give you guys this fresh look. This has been fun, pulling out all kinds of crazy Toy Biz stuff. I'll have more photos on my Instagram later, because I got a bunch more that didn't make it in the cut. It would just be way too long. What is this, like 20 minutes already? So I'm going to leave you guys with that. As always, drink some great coffee, eat some great food, but most importantly, remember, with this line, keep in mind, go bananas, go crazy, make it weird. I don't even care. That would just be something so different and so refreshing, we'll just say. And when you do, let me know what you found. I'll talk to you guys soon. Adios.